University of South Africa is celebrating a century and a half of existence, and it has a lot to commemorate since its early inception. Let's listen live.
As I stated, only in the early 1900s, other universities such as the University of Pretoria, Cape Town, Wits, the University of the Free State were born. So today, ladies and gentlemen, we are celebrating the mother of higher education in South Africa, the University of South Africa, the University of Leaders. What is the purpose of a university? What and why would it need to be celebrated? What are the questions we must ask about universities? I'd like to propose that the purpose of the university is to question society, to improve the human condition through knowledge, research, engaged scholarship, and the commitment of forming intellectual. As a commitment to this abiding purpose, the University of South Africa has set itself the ambitious vision of being a truly Pan-African university, shaping futures in the service of humanity. In order to achieve this vision, the university mobilizes a broad spectrum of society to ensure that it delivers on its core mandate, learning, teaching, research, engaged scholarship. Today, UNISA is one of the top 10 universities in South Africa and one of the leading universities in the African continent and the leading authority on open distance education model, including academic fields such as education, accounting sciences, agriculture, nanotechnologies, and other technologies that the future require of society. The university caters for a third of student population in higher education sector. It sits in position 8 in terms of research output and has a growing number of National Research Foundation-rated scholars. Its quality assurance system remains robust and comparable to peers here at home and abroad, and it continues to be a financially sustainable enterprise that we would and we have the responsibility to future-proof for the next generation. Every year, UNISA approximately produces 50,000 graduates for the sector. No university does that. It's actually a number of a full university. For the current 5-year period, 2021 to 2025, the university has set itself the goal of intensifying and strengthening the research program through the 10 catalytic niche areas that are supposed to spawn the innovation system of our country, understanding the challenges in the SOEs. Already, we have an uptake of some local and international distinct scholars that have shown interest in these important research areas, namely marine studies, aviation, aeronautical studies, automotive, energy space studies, and square kilometer array, the fourth industrial revolution, digitalization, natural sciences, such as biotechnologies and nanotechnologies, health sciences and medicine, and of course, feminist Pusadi theorization to ensure a gender equitable society. Are we not for gender equality? As a university, we continue to keep our gaze on the national imperatives as well as Africa's long-term aspirations as contained in the Agenda 2063, the Africa we want. In terms of Goal 2 of the agenda, Africa is working towards a well-educated citizen, a skills revolution underpinned by science, technology, and innovation. This priority area is the focus on education, science, and technology, and very important for driving the skills revolution that our country and continent so need, where Africa as a whole and the education sector in particular is expected to ensuring inclusive and equitable quality education to promoting lifelong learning and opportunities. Here at home, the immense contribution that UNISA makes towards the goal of increasing overall participation and success rates in the university sector is quite important. As indicated, our contribution to that idea that the National Development Plan requires of producing doctors, that can inform and shape the scientific agenda of our country is quite an important imperative that UNISA cradles. As indicated earlier, the evolution of higher education in South Africa bears the hallmarks of UNISA. More than any other institution in the country and continent, UNISA has made quality education accessible. Our country has made it even more possible for ensuring that students who come from the margins, the economic margins, are supported, and thus the indelible mark of the quest for better life cannot be summarized in any way without thinking about UNISA in the psyche of the country, the continent, and the world. Throughout the 15 decades of its existence, the University of South Africa has traversed a road of transformation that was characterized by ebbs, flows, triumphs, defeats, and yet remained true to its reasons of existence, that questioning and advancing society. As we march to the next 150 years, we need to reflect honestly and critically about the history and place of the university in our national life and the future of the African continent. The contestations of the day notwithstanding, welcome as they are, we ought to think about our actions and the legacy we shall leave behind for generations to come. Given the volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguous nature of our ever-evolving world, what should be the mission and the key task of UNISA in the next 150 years? Are you going to be part of that partnership that aims at shaping these contestations so that we can form the best citizens in the global world? As I said in my inaugural speech in September 2021, there will be no change without courage. And in this regard, we should always remember the words of the poet, the humanist Professor Kiurapetse Khutisile, who said, "When the clouds clear, we shall know the color of the sky." Let me repeat. When the clouds clear, we shall know the color of the sky. And President Mandela also, in his speech, after his release from prison, after 27 years, he reminds us that strong proverbial idea of being African, that even as we build, sometimes there will be efforts to curtail the building. And he says, it's a very important and profound invitation for us to understand in the efforts of building societies, institutions, and universities that we should ensure that we are committed to the building of the freedom that our country so fought for. In this day, that is the first Freedom Day of the country, were you aware that today is the Freedom Day, the day that the Charter was proclaimed, to ensuring that all of us South Africans work together for the freedom and liberation of this country. So as UNISA, we're proud to be the students of freedom, the students of liberation, the students and scholars who will work together for the practice of freedom, drawing on the accomplished leaders, the alumni of this university, who would have walked the hallways of this university through the postal office, the digital system, but also the classroom. Leaders such as President Mandela, President Thabo Mbeki, the current president of the country, President Cyril Ramaphosa, the former president of the first republic of the Africans, Haiti, in the Northern Hemisphere, Dr. John Bertrand Aristide, the former Deputy Justice Dikgang Moseneke, Judge Thokozile Masipa, Edwin Cameron, the former Governor Jill Marcus, as it is the current one, the businessman Mark Lamberti, Dr. Mampele Rampele, and others like Basitsana Kumalu, who are committed leaders of our societies. On behalf of the university, MENCOM, or management team, on behalf of all who are here, I wish to take this opportunity to welcome you to the University of South Africa, the University of the Land, the University of Leaders, the university committed to co-constructing the future through knowledge and through the commitment of Africans. Welcome to UNISA. Happy birthday, 150.
Let's give another round of applause to our Vice Chancellor, Professor Puleng Lenkabula.
There you have it, the opening address there, UNISA celebrating 150 years of existence. UNISA Vice Chancellor Professor Puleng Lenkabula wrapping it up there, saying that the UNISA is a university of the land and leaders, and also saying that there will be no change without courage, and when the clouds clear we shall know the color of the sky. Speaking about the purpose and why the celebration is important, saying it questions society to improve human conditions through knowledge and commitment, and also saying that UNISA is one of the 10 universities in South Africa and a leading authority on open distance model, catering for a third of the population, saying that every year UNISA produces 50,000 graduates for the sector, and saying that it's time to reflect honestly about history and the place of the university in the future of the African continent, saying that we need to think about our actions for generations to come as the university celebrates 150 years in existence.